Yeah.
Tank is one of the most interesting fighters to watch because he's so different. His style is so different. You know, he's so economical. Like, he puts pressure on guys without throwing too many punches, and then starts to figure holes out. And the way he can explode and move in with one shot, my God.
Yeah, he very explosive. He's very explosive, and you know, man, he be cracking them dudes. Hey, he be putting them to sleep.
Just cracking people.
Don't stop it on me, though. I'm not. How would you get this one, man?
Ain't no jumping out.
When Joe Rogan got his first look at Gervonta Tank Davis's newly bulked up physique ahead of the Jake Paul showdown, you could practically sense that classic Rogan reaction, part astonishment, part deep dive analysis. His tone, equal parts excitement and curiosity, captured the moment perfectly. Rogan, known for blending raw enthusiasm with technical insight, immediately shifted into what fans call scientific breakdown mode, examining how Davis's added muscle could influence his speed, power output, and endurance. For Rogan, this wasn't just about how Tank looked, it was about what those physical changes might mean once the bell rings. Could the extra size enhance Davis's knockout potential without slowing his signature explosiveness? That's the kind of question Rogan lives for. And judging by his early reactions, he sees Davis's transformation as more than cosmetic. It's a calculated evolution designed for a fighter stepping into the ring against a naturally bigger opponent.
I'm a giant Gervonta fan. I think that guy is so unusual.
Yeah.
His style's so unusual, and his like patience.
Yes.
Yeah. He finds these openings and he sees them, but he doesn't go after them right away. He waits for the right time. He's so patient.
Right.
Like, when you watch the early rounds of his fights, he's like at a world champions that are competing today at the highest level. He probably has the lowest punch count in the early rounds.
Yeah.
Because he just wait, but he also knows he's got that nuclear option that if he can crack you, most likely he's going to take you out. He's got massive confidence in.
On his podcast, Joe Rogan didn't bother with niceties, he dove straight in. Watching Gervonta Tank Davis's latest training footage, Rogan couldn't help but exclaim, he looks like he's been built in a powerlifting lab. And honestly, it wasn't an exaggeration. Davis's physique is noticeably transformed, his shoulders are broader, his traps sit high like a coiled spring, and his overall frame looks far more powerful than the version fans saw before the Ryan Garcia fight. From there, Rogan did what he does best, breaking it all down with that trademark mix of fascination and analysis. He explained how the added muscle mass could actually enhance Davis's explosiveness rather than slow him down. By increasing strength through the hips and core, Rogan suggested, Tank might now generate even more punch velocity and torque, turning each shot into something heavier and sharper. To Rogan, this isn't just a physical upgrade, it's an evolution of a fighter fine-tuning his body for maximum impact. Every ounce of that added size seems deliberate, built for one purpose, to unleash controlled power when it matters most.
Interesting, right? Like, you don't know whether someone's ever going to be able to figure that out, or whether or not he's just going to keep cracking people.
Yeah.
You know, so it's part of the fun of watching it. I've talked to a lot of like real boxing purists. It's like, you can't rely on that style.
Right.
He's got to be busier. When he gets to the best guys, it's not going to work out. Like, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see, because there's so many good.
But the real spark came when Joe Rogan drew a bold comparison, calling Gervonta Tank Davis a modern-day version of Mike Tyson, only refined through today's advanced training science. Rogan described Tank as built to detonate, not just box, emphasizing that every part of his physique and movement now screams controlled destruction. With a grin, he couldn't resist taking a lighthearted jab at Jake Paul, saying, if Jake thinks this version of Tank is coming to win on points, he's out of his mind. That guy's showing up to end it early. You could hear the respect in Rogan's voice. He admires transformation, that rare hunger to evolve when most fighters would simply maintain. And this new version of Gervonta Davis embodies exactly that. His conditioning, mindset, and physical form all point toward a fighter reinventing himself with purpose. As Rogan summed it up, this isn't just a stronger or faster Tank Davis, it's something far more dangerous. This isn't Tank Davis 2.0, he said with conviction. This is Tank Davis unleashed.
He got the skills, the power, he got that ring IQ to do good, but we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, he's also wild. He's a wild fella, so he's fun to watch. You know, he's just a crazy dude. You know?
Yeah, coming from Baltimore, man, I think that's just his upbringing as well. You know, product of his own environment.
Yes, for sure. He's just so unique in his approach. Like, he doesn't fight like anybody else.
When I say Tank is targeting the body relentlessly, I don't mean simple conditioning rounds, I mean surgical dismantling. The game plan is to slow Jake's rhythm, sap his legs, and make every forward step feel heavy and awkward, as if he's pushing through glue. Study the footage and it's obvious. Tank isn't merely bigger, stronger, or faster, he's more cerebral. Calvin Ford isn't encouraging wild haymakers, he's mapping out a calculated attack. Every body shot is timed to reduce reach, blunt power, and force errors. Every feint and angle is meant to punish the space Jake thinks he owns. This isn't brute force, it's chess played at full speed, where position and patience win fights. In short, the plan is simple but relentless: break the base, control the center, and make a heavier man pay for every inch he takes. When that approach lands consistently, size becomes a liability, not an advantage.
The least serious you take Jake, and I've said this about everybody that's fought him, the ones that don't take him serious, the ones that say he's a YouTuber and everything else, they end up losing, or they end up looking like, oh, wait a second, this guy was a little better than I thought. They end up either getting taken by surprise or actually sometimes losing because they don't realize that Jake actually takes it serious. So this is good to hear. Just already right off the rip, they were already doing something.
Surprise. So tell me, when did you hear about this?
They've been going back and forth for years, Tank and Jake. They've been going at it for years, and it would have happened sooner, you know what I'm saying? But we have hiccups in life.
When I say Tank is targeting the body relentlessly, I don't mean sloppy punishment, I mean methodical destruction of movement and will. The plan is to sap Jake's legs and breath, so every forward step becomes effortful and slow, like trudging through resistance. Watch the footage and the pattern is clear. Tank's not only bigger, stronger, and faster, he's calculating. Calvin Ford isn't greenlighting reckless bombs, he's orchestrating a timed campaign. Each body shot, feint, and angle serves a tactical purpose: shorten the distance, blunt the jab, and force the heavier man into mistakes. This is chess at full speed, where controlled aggression and positional discipline matter more than raw power. The endgame is simple and relentless: make every inch of reach costly for the bigger opponent, erode his foundation, and convert that erosion into openings for decisive, well-timed strikes. When executed consistently, size stops being an asset and starts to become the very thing you exploit.
See a guy that's targeting the body, and it's the best thing that Tank could do for this fight. I mean, trying to go headshot for headshot with Jake Paul when Jake's 7 inches taller than he is. I'm assuming he's going to have a bit of a reach, even though Tank has a kind of freakish reach for his height. I don't think that's a great idea. And again, you're at eye level with Jake's belly button damn near. So you're going to have to be able to land shots right there on the waistline. And it's probably the best idea if you actually want to knock Jake out in this fight, if you actually want a game plan, because again, it's an exhibition, but if you want a game plan to get him out of there, you have to.
You can already picture it, Tank ripping those combinations to the body, each punch snapping like a whip, forcing Jake's guard to dip lower and lower. The deeper the rounds go, the heavier Jake's movements become, and that's when the tide shifts. Once Tank lands clean, the fight's entire rhythm changes, fatigue sets in, reactions slow, and openings multiply. What makes it all the more fascinating is the contrast in tone. While many still label this matchup an exhibition or media spectacle, the footage tells a different story. Tank isn't playing showman, he's operating like it's a championship defense. Every drill, every exchange is deliberate, calculated, and coldly focused. With Calvin Ford guiding from the corner, there's no room for complacency. Ford turns pressure into preparation and nerves into fuel, molding Tank into a fighter who thrives on control, not chaos. This isn't Tank training for headlines or streaming moments, this is Tank preparing to make a statement. A quiet, disciplined takeover. And when that bell rings, every flaw Jake hides behind confidence will be dragged into the light.
Ridiculously hard for Tank to actually knock Jake out. That's like 70-pound difference, 60-pound difference. That means something. And Jake's not some guy that's never thrown punches. He's a relative novice when it comes to, skill level that Tank has, but still, he knows how to protect himself. And again, his body structure allows for some mistakes to happen that he wouldn't have to pay for like he would if he was 135 pounds. Point being, I would be impressed, very, if Tank knocked him out cold or dropped him with some, hurt him bad.
Just when we thought Calvin Ford's blunt honesty was as real as it gets, Lamont Roach Sr. stepped in and shifted the conversation from the ring to the boardroom. Instead of throwing punches, Roach threw paperwork, dissecting Gervonta, Tank Davis's latest career move like a business analyst breaking down a merger. He didn't hold back, suggesting that Tank sidestepped a traditional rematch route and went straight to the entertainment empire, saying in effect, *, forget legacy, I'm chasing the Netflix numbers. Asterisk. And honestly, there's truth in the irony. This Jake Paul fight feels less like a standard boxing event and more like the sport collided headfirst with the age of streaming and social media. It's the kind of matchup that makes purists shake their heads and younger fans double tap. Try explaining it to an old-school boxing fan. Asterisk, yeah, man, Tank Davis is fighting a YouTuber who used to pull pranks in department stores. Asterisk, it sounds absurd on paper, but that's the evolution of modern combat sports, where business, entertainment, and competition are all fighting for the same headline.
It's not good. It's not good for the sport. You know, a lot of people say, oh, money this and money that, but you gotta do business the right way. You know what I'm saying? You got guys on that other side, especially fighters, that take time out of their life, train, you know what I'm saying, get their coaches and their sparring partners, they go different places, travel. They invest a lot of times in their career, and it's a lot. So, you know, when they get back, they get news like that, you know what I'm saying, it does not receive well. So, but we solid. We're gonna stand 10 toes down, man, and we're gonna see what's next for us.